knowledge or thinking that something is bad, we really project it onto that item, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Because in this story with Jonah, what does Jonah do when God says, go this way?
He went the other way.
He went the other way. Why?
When I was reading the story, I was, he didn't want the people to be saved. And
Right. Jonah had the idea of separation. He wanted to be separate from God's presence, and he also wanted to be separated from those people because he felt like they should die.
Yeah.
Now, when you feel like somebody should die, listen to this. Not only does it mean that you're separated from God, or you're in your mind the idea that you're separated from God, but now you're separated from his people. And that's why churches are a lot of times not unified, because the idea of separation has grown and been cultivated and is grown up now and mature in all these other different ways. And people don't even know why. And we cook up all kinds of reasons why we shouldn't be with each other. But I don't like them people down there. These people ain't got this. But them folk ain't educated. But them people ain't been in church long. But them folks don't know how to do this. So what? All of us have some lower qualities in certain areas. We're all developing. All of us are developing. I mean, in my mind, some people don't have no church class. That's why they come and don't speak. Or sit and fidget and can't be quiet and can't pay attention. I call that no church class. Because when you come to church, you ought to have class about being in God's presence. You know? And that was my thing. But then God had to get on me and he said, well, you know, some areas you don't have no class. Any questions so far? Jonah thought he could get away with being out, you know, trying to figure out how he can flee from God. Adam and Eve did the same thing. They hid themselves amongst the trees. I mean, now you know that had to be a wild idea. But it was an idea in their minds that, hey, I know he created everything, but we can get away from it. And so it caused Jonah to get into a fix where he was in the belly of the whale. Finally, he, you know, I mean, of course, that was some pretty strong persuasion. But think about this. What he experienced was a manifestation of where his mind was. What Jonah experienced was nothing but the outward expression of where his mind was. Because he felt separated from God's presence, so the situation came where he could experience it fully. Y'all understand what I'm saying? He felt like he was separated from God in his mind, that he could go somewhere. So God just fixed it so he could really feel it even with his flesh. Because you're in the belly of a fish, you really feel separated from everybody. That's about as separate as you can get. You're in the belly of a fish. And that's, brothers and sisters, that's why it's so important and why God has me working on this. Because when we think separation, when we think ourselves apart from each other, when we think there's places where we can go where God is not, we think that there's things that we do that God don't care about, there's situations that we have that God can't fix, where God is not present. When we get in that mindset, the situations around us will play that out. Because as you think in your heart, so are you. You think of yourself as broke. You think of yourself as sick. I don't care how much pain comes. Let the pain come and let it go. Don't try not to dwell on it. Don't keep talking about it. Say, you know what, the pain is here today, but it'll be gone tomorrow. And whatever that is trying to let me know that still needs some attention. I appreciate the pain for letting me know that I need to still work on that. Maybe I need to exercise or stretch it or whatever I need to do. Thank God for the pain and keep rolling. Because what we speak on it is what's going to happen. You say your foot killing you, it eventually will.
Pastor Dean,
Yes, ma'am.
this may not be exactly concerning the lesson, but I learned that many times when you're thinking on something
Mm-hmm.
It can cause you, you know, you to feel the way that you think.
Mm-hmm.
But when you think on good things, then good things come and good things can happen.
Jesus, Matthew 12 and 36, if you want to turn there or if you want to write it down. Matthew 12 and 36 says, but I say unto you, this is Jesus talking. Matter of fact, we'll just go back a little bit. Oh, he was talking to the scribes and Pharisees. He said, oh, ye generation of vipers, how can ye being evil speak good things? For out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Now we know the heart that the Bible speaks about is also talking about the mind. That's like an interchangeable. You can say heart or mind because he says that as a man thinketh in his heart. So if the heart has a thinking capacity, it must be referring to the mind. And so in the mind, out of the heart, that's where feelings and emotions and thoughts come together. Out of that heart, the mouth speaks. For a good man out of his good treasure bring forth good things, an evil man out of his treasure evil things. Then he says, but I say unto you that every idle word that men shall speak. That's why small talk has to be monitored. You got to monitor what you even talk about in general conversation. Every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give an account thereof in the day of judgment. And that says it, and of course, in theology, they teach that judgment is far off. No. That judgment is what the universe does or the environment does for you when you speak it. Because, and I'll show you where it says, for by thy words thou shalt be justified, by thy words thou shalt be condemned. He didn't say in the day of judgment, that's now. When you speak a word, it goes out and doesn't come back void. No. Don't let them come back void. They always come back bearing what you say. So you speak a word, God shall make me a gazillionaire. I am rich, I am powerful, I am wealthy, I am healthy. God